All right, good evening, folks. This is your host, Richard. This is Hard Hat Conversations. Today is February the 17th, 2025. It's a Monday. Thank you for chiming in. This is your host, Richard, again. I'm stationed here in Cleveland, Ohio. Beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, even though it's maybe 20 degrees, but it's February, folks. But it's still beautiful. It's Cleveland, Ohio, folks. That's where I'm stationed. We got a interesting show today, folks. I was looking at some of the stuff over the wire, and also, I like to talk about local stuff, what's going on in my hometown as well. So we're going to always start off with what's going on in the real world, and that's the United States of America. So let's do it. Got to go to my notes, folks. I got to go to my notes. I got to be right with y'all because we're about here telling the truth. Like I said, the truth hurts, but we got to tell the truth. And if I say something wrong or you got an opinion on it, do me a favor. Hit that like button. I need that like button, folks. If you like this content and you like some of the stuff I'm saying, even though you may disagree with some of it, it makes you think, right? So please hit that like button and also, comment and subscribe. Please do that. That's very important. Thanks, folks. All right, let's get into it. All right, I woke up this morning, went to work, looked at my phone like we all do at work. Guess what hit me? I saw federal workers protesting. They got the day off. A lot of us don't have the day off. It's really a federal holiday, government holiday. So a lot of them decided to take the time and to go to Washington, D.C. and protest. Nothing wrong with that, folks. They can do that. That's their free time. They get paid time off. Nothing wrong with that. So let's not beat them up for that. But I understand, like I said in my last podcast, I understand the pain of losing your job and uncertainty, but we all have to go through these things. That's why we all have to prepare. And we just have to prepare, folks. So the only thing I really kind of disagree with a little bit is it's a little bit of the rhetoric, like, in my point of view. This is hard hat conversation. We got to tell the truth. There's lots of jobs out there that's been cut, lost, taken away, painful, and everything. But this is the capitalism. Like I said before, people got to remember this is capitalism. Everybody, it seems like today a lot of people think they're entitled to certain things. Now I'm gonna tell you one thing. Hard hat conversations here. I agree with certain things that we should be entitled to. This. I agree with this. I agree with food, water, health care, housing. Those things should be the bare minimum, folks. Like I said before, we need those to survive. Those are not luxury items. Those are survival items. Heard what I said, folks? Those are survival items I just named, not luxury items. So please don't disagree with me on that, because you need water, food, shelter, stuff like that. Come on, folks. Let's not be real unrealistic about that. We can debate and argue about how much this car costs and do you need this extra TV and stuff like that, and need your hair done and need to buy these expensive name brand clothes. That's a good debate on that, because those are luxury items. But food, water, heat, light, electricity, man, it's ridiculous, And healthcare, we need those things to survive. So we can find money in our budgets to do everything else, like war, help immigrations, help other countries feed their families and stuff like that, and build structures and stuff. We can take care of home first. That's one thing I agree with Donald Trump, whether you like him or not. You got to take care of home first, folks. Majority of the people at home got to be happy. And right now, it's just too much unhappiness right here. People are hurting right now. Insurance rates are going up because of something will happen in California or when Florida have their hurricanes. Your insurance rates go up. See, we need to focus on things like that. Got to stay on that crime. Got to keep that crime down. Got to work on that education. The education system need to be changed, folks. Like I said before, I agree with Donald Trump. We need to get rid of that Department of Education and revamp it call it something else, and we need to retool things, folks. For things wear out after a while, just like your car. You know, you got to change your brakes, change the oil. You got to buy a new car. It's time to retool. That's the way our world is, folks, whether you like it or not. Nothing stays the same. You don't even stay the same. You get older. You don't look as good as you used to. You can't run as fast as you can, you know. Your eyesight getting bad like mine, you know, as you get older, you know. It's just life cycle. So let's not get too nutty and too in an uproar. You know, the world is not coming to an end. Don't believe all that about you losing your rights. We had the Patriot Act back when they bombed trade centers, right? Remember that, folks? And they put out the Patriot Act in 2001 or 2 or whatever. We're losing our rights. They're going to spy on us and all this stuff. But, folks, they've been doing that for the longest. You know they've been doing that. What's that guy when Obama was president? Hey, I'm sorry, it's Black History Month. We're celebrating Black History Month, folks. But what was that when Obama was in office? And what's that guy named Eric Snowden? They made a movie that he whistleblowed on them with the phones or something. The government spying on our conversations and stuff. Come on, folks. This stuff is nothing new. So you federal workers, like I say, I feel your pain. I wish you didn't have to lose your job, but just like me and everybody else, companies cut for the good reasons and the bad reasons. You know, you got the good and you got the bad. Come on, folks. Let's be real. Let's not be enablers and live in a bubble and think this is paradise. We just can't have paradise down here because too many greedy people that want everything, and it's just the way it is. And we're not going to step up and slow that down. We're not wired like that. It's a shame, you know, there's more poor people than rich people. Like I said, there's 436 representatives. Help me out, folks, if I'm saying it wrong. And 100 senators. And there's over 300 million of us. And they're not afraid of us. And we can't tell them what to do. We can't tell them that we want these policies. They may give us 1 out of 10. And then they do their policies. Let's not forget, Republican, Democrat, third party, fourth party, whatever you put in there, they're going to look out for their own interests, their families, and their friends. Don't we do it? We look out for our family and friends first before we go out and venture. So what's wrong with America taking care of America first? You take care of your families and friends first. So let's take care of America first. Remember, we're a colorblind society, right? That's what we're supposed to be. But it seems like every time you look up something, white person doing this, black person doing this, Asian person doing that, Latino person doing that. For parties that talking about they want to come together, you know, that last party we just had in office, they was very splitting us up. They talking about the Republicans splitting us up. They do their little share of it, but not as bad as the Democrats to me, folks. That's just what I see, and I'm just speaking from a taxpayer's point of view. If it's either their way or the highway. And that's a little bit on the Republican side too, but not as much as the Democrat. I think the Democrat part got out of hand. I think they went a little bit wacko, and somebody need to slow them down. They don't have respect. It's just bullying and everything else, you know. So somebody need to slow them down. That's why they lost this time. And that's why the majority of America, even if they didn't like some of the stuff Donald Trump doing, they got tired of the BS. And they just want to see some change. And then if he don't work out, you know what we do, right? We have another election and get somebody else in there. But this time, I think the American people really going to focus on the policies this time instead of how much money the person got, how good they look, and who's their wife and who's they hanging out with like we do before. I think we really are because our pocketbooks are hurting. You know, housing costs is up, food, everything, you know. So, you know, rent is up. So, you know, that was up way up before he came in, and the Democratic Party didn't address it. Mostly they was concerned about LGBTQ, immigration, abortion, and things like that. You know, that was their campaign they ran on. Not saying nothing wrong with it. That's what they feel like they want to fight for. They got every right to do that. But the majority said, no, we want to focus on the economy. We want to focus on free speech. We want more of that. We can still work on those other issues, but these are the top dogs. And that's why y'all lost, Democrats. So maybe you can bring a lot of us back in if you start focusing on some of our issues that we want to talk about, not just what you want to talk about. All right? Let's get into it, folks. A lot of federal workers, like I said, they're protesting, and they got every right to do it. President Day, and they the only ones that got the holiday. I had to work, and other people else had to work. So they was hollering about. I saw a report that they hollering about. Oh, they're getting our information. There was some clown up there yelling. Oh man, I can't write everything down, folks, because I got to work for a living. I don't get to not work for a living. So I have to work for a living. So I'm sorry if sometimes I don't get these names all the way, but maybe next time I'll come around and give you a name that I saw on the news. He was ranting and raving about, oh, they're going to Trump doing this and that, and they're going to get all our information, our social security numbers. Folks, they already have them. Guess what? They already have them. So I don't know what this clown talking about. He's just trying to make talking points because they lost the election. They don't have nothing else to talk about. They're not bringing up no policies to bring down food prices or nothing, because they had every chance to do that. They had every chance to try to stop giving money to Ukraine and Israel for fighting these wars. They had every opportunity to do that. Look how they did in Afghanistan. They had all the opportunities. So when each group has this opportunity and they don't, they got to go. They got to go. So they hollering about data breach. Let me refresh your mind, folks, about data breach. Like data breach just came up when Elon Musk and Donald Trump and they started cutting some of the fat and get rid of some of those jobs that don't do nothing. Let me show y'all something. Sit down and let me show you something. Get your favorite drink, and your bet, whatever you're drinking. Check this out. I'm going to my notes. I did write a few of these down, folks. Data breach. In 2019, Capital One had one where they got a lot of people information. Marriott International. They got your credit cards, all that stuff, information. Equifax, one of the credit bureau reports, got all your information. They was hacked. Yeah. Home Depot, one of my favorite stores. People that were using self-checkout. It probably happened to me. That's why I get some of these weird. You ever get some of these weird phone call folks that come out of the blue, all these different numbers and stuff, and you don't know where they coming from, area code 515, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes they try to trick you up and use 216, then ask you to try to sell you stuff, ask you if you want to sell your home or trying to sell you a product or just talking crazy. Those are data breach. And this comes from some of these companies, like I just named off. Let me refresh your mind again, just in case you missed. It wasn't Donald Trump just got in office again. And if you want to play that political game, we can play it. These things happened while Joe Biden was in office. But let's not play that game. This stuff happens, whoever is in there. Capital One, Marriott International, Equifax, if I'm saying that right, folks, credit reporting agency, Home Depot, and one more other, T-Mobile. Yeah, they just had this not too long ago, folks. Remember that? Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, T-Mobile. I was a customer. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay because it was T-Mobile. But Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they finna end the world. They finna take out democracy. They all got your information, folks. Every time you fill out an application. Are we getting brain farts or something around here? You got a social security number, don't you? Unless you're an illegal alien. You do have a social security number. They already got you. You working. They got you. You got to pay taxes. They got you. You're in the system. You was in the military. They got you. Back in those days when you're in the military, they had you on microfiche. I don't know what they got you on now. In the cloud. Oh, man. So they got you, folks. If you're on welfare, folks, and don't work, they got you. Yeah. Not Donald Trump. They already got you. Yeah. Let's move on, folks. Enough of that dumb stuff. Oh, guess what, folks? It's Black History Month again. I like to do my daily Black History. I got to celebrate it. And like I said, I hope we celebrate it with peace and love and also have some hard conversations to talk about the truth and solve some of these Black history problems that we have in the Black history community, which is Black people. Yeah. Check this out, folks. The Black Caucus. Anybody know what the Black Caucus is? Anybody ever heard of them? I'm looking at my notes, folks, because I got to make sure I say this right. They was created. Here's a Black history known fact or unknown fact. Listen to me, Black people. And other races, you can catch on so you can have a conversation with your Black co-workers. The Black Caucus was created in 1971. 1971, I think it was 3 years after Dr. Martin Luther King died, after the civil rights and all that died down. 1971, the Black Caucus was created, and currently has 62 members. I'm going to repeat that so y'all can write these down so y'all can talk about this. Black Caucus was created in 1971, and it has 62 members. The population of Black folks in America is 13.7%. That's the latest thing. Excuse me, folks. The mission of the Black Caucus creation was to improve condition of Black people in America. Listen, this is very important, folks. I want you to listen to this. This was created in 1971. So you know how long ago that was. To improve conditions of Black people in America. I want that to sink in for a minute. All right, 62 members right now. Here's another known, well-known or unknown fact for Black History Month. I want y'all to listen to this, folks. You can look up, it's called the PewResearch.org. Pew, P-E-W, research.org. They're a real good source. They have a good reputation. Google it. You can find it. Okay? The PewResearch.org. P-E-W. Only 6% of Black Americans make over $100,000. We have a population of 13.7%. So, I'm going to repeat this again. Like I said, look it up, folks. Only 6% of Black Americans make over $100,000. What's the old saying? Enough said. And you worried about data breach. That's already been breached when you was born. 6%. What about the other 94% making under 100,000 and less? 94%. I think you go up to 100%, right? Like I said, I'm not a math favorite. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment, help a brother out. HBO, whatever you want to call it. I'm not capping. That means I'm not lying, folks. I'm not talking you know what. That's what capping means, if you ever hear that word capping. I learned that. Thanks to my young brothers and sisters for teaching me that. 94% is making less than $100,000. And you worried about data breach. Lord have mercy. You standing up there screaming and hollering. We got the Black Caucus members up there ain't doing nothing. And here's another note. Let me go to my notes again. Remember, this is Black History Month. We learning. We're not picking, we just telling the truth. We telling the good with the bad, right? We always got to share the good news with the bad news, right? Tomorrow might be some good news, but today is some bad news. Now, I want to say this too. The Black Caucus did some good stuff at the beginning. But like anything that starts off good, it can become corrupted when you stay in there too long. That's my point of view. That's why we have to have fresh faces and fresh ideas. And I know they went in there with good intentions. I believe that. I believe most of us do when we run for office, most of us. And we really do want to make some changes. We have them in our mind that we can fix this and we can do that. But once we get in that system is tough. Because that system is run by what, folks? Tell me, what is it run by? Money. So you got to weigh the two, folks. Nothing wrong with money, folks. We all need it. Remember, we live in a capitalistic world. But when you become involved in that politics and all that money just flowing in, taxpayers' dollars, most of it unaccountable for, it's like you getting drunk. You got limited, what's that? What they used to call that? Limited boneless wings with a limited beer and stuff like that. You like to go on them nights, don't you? Just drink them up, eat. That's what they doing at Congress. Something similar like that. They have limitless money. Because as long as you living and breathing and working, the tax dollars are just rolling in. They got so much tax dollars, they don't even know what to do with it. Sometimes they steal it, they hide it, they do foolish projects, they give it away to other countries like it ain't nothing. While you got places like, let me go to my notes, folks. While you got places in America that's look like hellholes. Chicago, Cleveland, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, Los Angeles, homeless is up to the rooftop. This was before the fires, folks. Yeah, this is before those fires, yeah. And the majority of them people was well off. Not all of them, but majority of them. But the homeless was there in Los Angeles. It's at an epidemic. And it's starting to get an epidemic in all these cities. North, south, east, and west. But nobody's addressing it. But they're ready to holler and fight for U.S. aid. And we don't mind helping folks. But like I said, take care of home first. You rather give U.S. aid all this money to go this way and that way. And you got abandoned buildings in the city of Cleveland where little girls and little boys going to school walk by and they can get killed, snatched, whatever. All these major cities and some of the rural areas are suffering. Yeah. Some of the rural areas are suffering. Lack of resources. All right, folks. That's the Black Caucus. Call your congressman. Ask what the Black Caucus is doing. Hey, folks, didn't the Black Caucus, what's his name? Let me look up his name. Jim Clyburn, born in 1940. Born 1 year before my mother was. I think this is his 18th term, folks. 18th term, folks. Not just picking on him, just pointing out a fact because it's Black History Month. 18th term. And you over there worrying about Putin being in office all that long. And you got a guy over here, 18th term. Isn't that dictatorship? Can't nobody else get in with some fresh ideas? You got Maxine Waters, 17th term. She was 86 years old. Do you think she can relate to what's going on right now at 86? Not beating up 86 person, but come on. At 86, I'm not relating to what's going on at the kitchen table at this time. My kitchen table is full. My kitchen table is good. I don't have to worry about my light, gas, water, transportation, health care. Why we have people like that in office? Where's term limits? When are you going to march about term limit, folks? 18th and 17th term. That sounds like a dictatorship, meaning can't nobody get in there. I'm going to stay in here. People going to vote for me. I blame the people. Yeah. Why would y'all want somebody in there 18 times, 18 terms? I get tired of them. They run out of ideas. I want something fresh. I don't want the same dinner every night. I want something different if I can afford it. 18th term, Jim Clyburn and Maxine Waters, 17th term. And that's the same guy that helped, I think he in South Carolina, Jim Clyburn. We still on Black History Month, folks, so hold on. These two people I'm talking about is black. Just stating the fact. Look it up. I'm not lying. And I do got a right to have an opinion. Just because I'm black, I don't have to go along with them. Just because you white, you don't have to go along with it because they white. Remember, we all one human race. Remember that, folks. We're all one human race. Remember that. Let's not forget that. Okay? What was I going to say, folks? We need to term limits, folks. It's time for them to go. Been time for them to go a long time ago. They're out of touch, folks. Remember that word, out of touch? I can get out of touch. I can get out of touch with a 30-year-old. I can say, man, I don't have nothing in common with you. I don't do that no more or whatever. That's out of touch, folks. That's not being mean. That's just being reality. We need some fresh ideas. We do, folks. We need some term limits. No more than 2 terms, folks. Get out. All of them. Get out. No more than 2. And I'm being generous. All right, folks. Let's do this. Did I get enough on the federal workers? Oh, one more thing okay, I'm done with I think I'm done with the Black History Month, folks. I think I acknowledged it enough for tonight. One more thing with the federal workers. Like I said, they was hollering about, they losing their jobs, different like that. This is what happens when you don't take care of home. I'm going to stay on taking care of home because I love America. America is my home. I'm an American. This is my country. This is where I was born. I love America. I love apple pie and baseball. I love fried chicken and watermelon. What's wrong with that? This is America. I like to host the American flag. What's wrong with that? You can even got illegal aliens, immigrants, whatever you want to call them. They protesting in your country with a Mexican flag, a Venezuelan flag. What is that about? You here illegally, and the ones that here legally shouldn't be doing that. This is your home. This is America. I tell you what, take one of them buses, ride over across to Mexico, if you came from Mexico or Venezuela or Haiti or one of those countries, take the American flag over there, protest and say, look, this is my homeland country. Y'all need to do better so I don't have to come over here to America illegally. See what happened to you. I'm just saying, I never been over there. I don't know. Let's see if you will get the same courtesy as America do you here. So let me give y'all, this is some free advice to y'all that want to protest America for trying to follow her laws to keep immigration down and to keep the costs down so they can keep giving you welfare system, so they can keep giving you Social Security and handouts to keep the poor from being out on the streets. Let me give you some free advice. Hold the American flag up high and say, please, America, let me stay. I'll do whatever I can to stay in here. I'm sorry I came over illegally. I was hungry and I was starving. I was threatened with my life. I need help. I'll go wherever you tell me to do. I'll go through the steps. Please help me. I bet you get some help better that way than bogarting and doing what you want to do and waving the old country flag that wouldn't do nothing for you. That's crazy. And then all those other people that come over in here in America, show some respect. This country is good to you. It's better now. It was horrible in the past. We know that. I could talk about it all day. I'm a product from the past. Like I said it before, I'm a product from Jim Crow laws where your parents, a lot of y'all parents didn't have to go through that, where they couldn't drink from the water fountain and they had to hold their head down when they used to walk by a white person. Or that somebody could have busted in your house and hung you. You ever see that movie Mississippi Burning? My parents was down there at that time. My grandparents, my cousins. A lot of you understand what I'm saying that came from the South. I was born up here. I don't know nothing about that. The only reason I know about it because they shared the stories with me to let me know that I want you to do better than what I had to go through. I don't want you to go through what I had to go through. But now that we got it better, I'm looking at my black neighborhoods and I'm like, we're going backwards. But yet we got all these black politicians, all these black movie stars, all these black pro players, all these doctors, scholars, people that own companies. And what are they doing? All they doing is doing what the old system used to do. Take care of yourself, forget about your fellow man, make as much money as you can so you don't have to go back to that and look down on them and say, look at them, they sorry and lazy. You had help, whether you like it or not. Why can't you help? You, like I said at the beginning, with power comes great responsibility. Start using it. Come down there personally, like in the old days. Those rich people that so-called claim that they Christians and love the Lord, come down there like Jesus Christ did amongst the poor. Don't hide behind a nonprofit. Come down there and distribute yourself. Find out what can you do to help a working class family that need a hand up, not a handout. Come down there personally, do something different. If you're scared, bring you some bodyguards. It's okay. There's people down there living down there and getting attacked. But if you're afraid, come on down. Don't be afraid. People down there need help. There's a scripture in the Bible, if you believe in it, said, Jesus said, I'm a physician. I go where I need it. Be a physician. Go where you need it. Take some of that wealth and help somebody else. You won't lose nothing. You can write it off on taxes. You got so much in your storehouses. Do it. You ain't got to lose everything. You still can be rich. Just try it out a little bit. Hey, come down and help me. Keep me up. Keep me uplifted. Help my neighbors out. We're not rich. We 1 or 2 paychecks out the door. Lose your house. Lose your rent. Don't pay your rent. Lose that. Help us out. All right, folks. But federal workers, this is what happens when you vote for people that all they care is about is immigration, wars, and stuff like that. They don't worry about water, food, and housing. Nobody's fighting those battles. I'm gonna name some more cities that need help, folks, just in case you listening and you need to go and you're rich or you're well off and you can help somebody down in one of them cities. Chicago. Visit East Cleveland, Ohio. Those that know of it. Look it up. That don't never heard of it. Chicago, East Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, where I'm at. Los Angeles, the homeless. Detroit. Hey, let's not forget about Springfield, Ohio. Remember that was all in the news? And even New York, the great city of New York. A lot of help they need to be down there. All right, folks. That's my ranting and raving. Let's go to local Cleveland. I'm going to local Cleveland real quick. Cleveland, Ohio, and surrounding areas, because all the suburbs around Cleveland, if Cleveland goes, you guys go, whether you believe it or not. And this pertains just to Cleveland, the mayor, city council, and all the other politicians. I remember one time, I'm just asking a question. What happened to the lead paint project? Where they're supposed to come down, we got a lot of old homes in the city of Cleveland, where the city's supposed to have some type of lead paint agenda. Help us out covering up the lead paint. I don't know if they was going to help the homeowners with half cost of the putting siding to cover it up. Abandoned houses, I haven't heard nothing about that anymore. I know they had got money for that a few years ago. I got a solution. 'Cause remember I said this is hard hat conversations. We like to do solutions, you know. And shout out to Lorain, Ohio, and that Midway Mall. It's a shame what happened to that out there. It used to be beautiful out there. It's a shame. Get on your city council out there. Get on your mayor. What happening out there? I told you, it's stretching out. These people coming in, taking the money, getting in office and leaving, and you still stuck there in that hellhole. Call them. Check it out. That Midway Mall used to be beautiful. I went out there a few times. I used to be a delivery driver. Now I heard it looked like a ghost town. Maybe they got one store. I don't know. It remind me of North Randall, you know, the mall. It was beautiful. Now it's, well, Amazon done took it over, thank God. It was a ghost town. Here's a solution, folks, and I'm going to let you go. The homeowners, this goes with any city, Cleveland, all the major minority cities that's hurting. Remember they said that we don't have no affordable housing? And don't get me wrong, I'm not beating up Section 8 people, because some people really do need Section 8, and some people don't. Like I said, it's good with the bad. So check this out. For a long time, you cities, housing authority, they need to revamp that in Washington too, been beating up landlords. Landlords are what? Entrepreneurs. They bought the house, they pay property taxes, they help the community out, and they have to pay for all costs to keep the house going. So it's really a business. Help them out in the poor areas, and I guarantee you'll get more affordable housing. Here's one little thing I can tell you to do. One little thing, and I got many more, but I don't want to give it too much to you, because you might go crazy. Why did I ain't think of that? That makes sense. Why you giving all this money out to these sports figures like Haslam and what's that other one on Rocket Mortgage down there? All of them sports people and all that. You giving them tax breaks and all that, and the people that's live in Cleveland can't even afford it. But anyway, that's another story. Here's what I'm saying. Here's my proposal. And Mayor Bibb, you get ready to do that Your budget coming up, right? Fit this in your budget. Tell homeowners that want to rent out their home in Cleveland that you put siding on there, brand new siding and windows, and the city will cover half the cost, and the homeowner pay the other half of cost. One stipulation that you have to rent it out, let's say what's a fair thing? I say 3 years. Would you do that, homeowners? Would you do that, Mayor? I'm just throwing numbers out there. I'm throwing the idea out there, so I don't know what the cost would be. But if we pay half, do you know that'll uplift your city a little bit? Not just Section 8 people, just anybody that want to rent. That'll make the neighborhood look better. The homeowner feel like he invested in the city care. And here's one more thing. Give them a tax cut. If they work outside the city, give them a tax cut for 3 years. You do it for everybody else. You do it for the rich. What about doing it for the poor? That's what I'm saying. Uplift us. Let us keep what we have. Don't let us become poor where we have to get on the welfare system. Because you need more people to work to keep the welfare system rolling. Just a suggestion. I'm talking about all the cities out there. All right? Hey, this is Hard Hat Conversations. Thank you for listening. And I hope you have a good night. Peace out.